Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to Thrive Live Energy Incorporated. We are here today to share with another one of our amazing guests. Her name is Anita today, myself and my wonderful co-host, Raven Luckett, today. Tawana is away today, so we are going to handle this ourselves, right, Raven?
Absolutely.
So we are sharing uh, real people, real stories, and real solutions. We are doing this work to address the issues of mental health, substance use, the opioid crisis, trauma in our communities and in our lives. And we're really working to eliminate stigma associated with all of these things because these things happen. And people should be able to get help and get support without feeling bad about anything that has happened, transpired in their past, or things that they may have done. So we're talking to real people. We're talking about their real stories, and we're talking about real solutions. You can like our Facebook page, Energy Inc. Thrive Live, or you can go to our Inner Light Inc. page also. You can check us out if you're watching us on YouTube. We're so glad that you are with us today. And so we are going to jump right in. We're going to get my co-host Raven to say some greetings to you all and hello, Raven. And what's the word for the day?
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess the word is just try to help yourself. Try to help yourself. I mean, that's the word I have today. And in doing that, it takes a village to raise a child. So we're all here and present to try to help in any way we can. It's a lot of things going on in the world out here today, and substance abuse, mental health, suicide, ideation, suicide, a lot of anger management that's not addressed. A lot of lives are being lost, and we already have COVID over our heads, so there's a lot going on, and we're just trying to be here to be of some assistance to help. But the only way that we can help is if the public reaches out for help. We're here. So I'm just glad to be a part of it. And good afternoon.
And so, with that, if you do need some assistance or help, we're going to invite you to check out the DBH helpline 18887 We Help. That's 18887 We Help. We invite you to make a call to that number, or you can reach out to us at Energy Incorporated, INNERGY Incorporated at gmail.com. And we will get you connected either through Raven with our substance use referrals, or with Tawana or myself with other mental health referrals. And if there are other issues in the community that you are looking for that you need, reach out to us, and we will help navigate you to the right places that you need to get. If you are watching from in the DMV area or anywhere else, you should be able to also call in the US. Call 311 in your local area and get connected to a line that will get you resources and connected where you need to be. So with that being said, I want to take a moment to thank our very special guest today, Miss Anita. She is from Washington, D.C. area, and she is a community activist doing some great work in community, but she has a story to tell. She has many stories, but we only have time for some short ones today. But we want to give Anita an opportunity to share her story with us, and then we'll talk with her a little bit. And if you join us and you send some questions to us either on our Facebook or through here, we will try to respond to those. But Anita, so glad to have you with us. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank everybody who's viewing right now. I would just like to talk about today about not feeling alone. I'm born and raised Southeast, and Miss Raven was speaking about a village, but do understand sometimes that everybody in your village is not on the same page as you. Um, don't be afraid to kind of like in your purpose stand alone. Sometimes you have to distance yourself from certain friends you grew up with, family members, and you have to just live in your purpose. Mental health is very much alive. Every day we face different challenges. Um, just being here in DC and the death rate and the overdoses, the shooting, it's something going on out. for me, with my everyday struggle, I try to read a book or something to lift myself. It's easy for me to pick up a bottle or pick up some drugs or take some pills, but that's not the route that I want to take. I just have to believe in me and believe in my goals. I see that Miss Raven and I have a clock in my background. Time is at the essence, and time cannot be replaced. Feeling alone, or you need someone to talk to, like Reverend Darrell gave you some numbers to reach out to. Um, I'm a single mom. I have two beautiful daughters. I have a relationship, since COVID, sat in the house and really got to know each other. So that's a little shaky right now, but you got to work through things. And it's a sad sight to see when you leave out your home and you may see someone laying on the street because they overdosed, or two people arguing and they want to pull out guns. But you just have to really stay focused. Whatever you believe in, just pray on that. Speak to the universe. At one point I was very depressed where I wanted to take my life. I took some pills, sat in the house, wanted to drink a whole bottle of wine with the pills. I had everything set up for my family to take care of my kids. But in the midst of my darkness, something slapped me in my face and said, it is not over. You are who you are. You have a bright light. The impact, I had to focus on the impact I make in people's lives versus the struggle that I was going through. And I came out of my depression. And it was a hard road. It was very, very hard. I'm not going to never tell anybody it's easy. And I still struggle with some things today. You have triggers, but you have to know your triggers and reach out to people and talk about it. But yeah, today
So, tell
I
us a little
volunteer in
bit
my
more.
community, and I'm just excited. I wake up more happy than depressed now because I've realized I have a purpose. I feel as though I have not lived in my purpose yet. Like it is not over for me. Like I really be losing sleep because I feel as though my purpose has not been served yet. And every day, God, universe, whatever you believe in, Allah wakes you up in the morning to keep on moving.
Can you tell us a little bit, Anita, about that darkness, that time when it was really dark and you were thinking about ending it all? What led to that, and what was happening in community?
Being raised by a mother, a single mom, my father was present, but they were not in the house together. Um, just basically feeling like I wasn't receiving the love that I actually wanted, the love and attention. So I kind of felt alone, like I didn't have no one to talk to when I was in the midst of my darkness, because I was that child that I feel as though was the black sheep. So I just feel like I had no one. I feel like my sisters would get more love than me. I feel like my mother wasn't giving me as much attention as I needed. It just seemed like everything was going wrong. But I had to like so when I was like 19, I was really depressed. Like I had to my sisters and I we was all pregnant at the same time, but I was the youngest. I feel like I was forced to get rid of my child. And then so in the midst of that, my boyfriend gave me a gun at the time for my 18th birthday.
For your
So
18th birthday?
for my 18th birthday, yep, my boyfriend bought me a 9mm Ruger. And I was in my room one day feeling real depressed, and I wrote a suicide letter on my wall. And he showed me how to break the gun down all the way to the spring, how to put it back together. And I just held it under my chin, and I held it to my head. And like I said, every time I'm in that midst of darkness, I don't know if it's my ancestors or something. It just always refer back to you better than this. Your time is not up. You still have this to accomplish. You still got to do this. You still got to do that. So I kind of put that to the side. I did not get any type of mental health. I just went on with my life and just listened to those little voices in my head. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Everything will be better. But that depression still followed me into my adulthood. because the same situation happened again. You know, I was pregnant with twins at this time, and my two sisters was pregnant again with me. One of my sisters, she didn't want her child. She did PCP. She tried to beat her child out of her, everything. Her daughter survived. My two daughters did not. When I was trying to do everything right in my power, because I feel as though it's no love better than the love from a mother to a child. And I really felt like that was something that I need, like that unconditional love nobody can take from me. And I felt like it was taken from me. And I feel like at that time she didn't want it, but her child survived. So I had to grow and watch their kids, a second stage of my life, grow while mine was not there. And it was depressing for me. I couldn't cross the street and look at somebody pushing their child down the street. Like it was just really, really bad. I did reach out to mental health before. Not everybody is proactive with really pushing what you tell them that you need. It's always make an appointment for this, or we want to do this. I went to, I think it was Community Connections on Pennsylvania Avenue, and I met a young lady. She was my age, and she was just telling me about the things that she had accomplished in her life. And we wrote down a list of things that I want to accomplish. From that day on, it triggered something in me to, I still do it today. I just write down my goals and I try to go with each goal step by step. I don't force myself. I just try to take it time after time. So that has helped for me. Drinking was my choice of drug or whatever, as you can say. I do drink now, but not as heavily as I did before. But paying my trigger signs and stuff. And I just try to reach out to a friend or family member or get my journal. Having a journal is always good because it's like you talking to yourself, your inner self, and you like coaching yourself. Because sometimes we hear, we don't, but you're going to listen to yourself. Like, and always refer back to your journals. Remember when you was here, but this is what you did. Like, do it again. Because we're going to always have setbacks. Let's move forward. But in the midst of all my depression and my writing and networking in the community, I have found my purpose and what I love doing. So me not getting the love like I wanted, it doesn't really affect me as much because I feel as though the love I put out there to other people is making me feel greater love, if that makes any sense to you all. Because I see the smiles I put on people's faces. But I also see the people that talk about me. But I don't worry about the ones that talk about me. Because they're going to always talk about you, you know, if you're doing good or bad. So I just pay attention. Each smile I put on somebody's face is what just motivate me to do what I do on a daily basis.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, you know, Anita, one of the great things about listening to your story is that you are saying all the things that many of us would say in a therapy session about the different ways that people can process and work through. And you've talked about them all. You talked about reaching out and talking to somebody, doing talk therapy, doing a journal, your higher power, and allowing your spiritual side to sort of have some resonance with you, not being alone and sharing with family. So that building in community, finding something that you can commit to and do. These are some great tools that you've talked about. And you talked about it being hard and that you would never tell anyone that it was easy. Can you talk a little bit more about what was hard about this journey and getting to where you are now?
So the hard part is because when you're in a deep depression, sometimes you don't even want to get up and eat. Sometimes you can't even sleep. Sometimes you just want to lay in the bed and do nothing, you know? But like I said, I thank God for the internet. It do some bad things, but it do some good things. So I couldn't research the books that I done read or anything if I didn't have the internet. Or I couldn't. Sometimes you don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody today. But you can get on the internet and you can just Google, you know, how to get out of depression. How can I find out my best self, or, you know, little things like that. So, yeah, it was days I didn't eat, days I didn't want to be bothered, shut myself in a room. But it was a process that I had to go through by myself. It's not that I needed necessarily somebody to tell me what to do, how to do it, what you're doing, this and that. I had to get in my brain and my mental that you are better than what you're trying to go through. And I had to understand spiritual warfare. I had to understand that as much as the higher power is trying to work for the good, the devil is also trying to take you for the bad. Like you can tell people all the time, you need to quit smoking, you need to quit drinking. But it's until you get it in your head and understand who you are that you're going to implement those things in your life.
Mhm.
If I didn't spirit in my life, probably not be the person I am today. So I believe that it was a necessary action, even though it happened the way it happened and how hard it was to go through. I believe that it was necessary for me to understand who I am.
So, what are you telling your daughters now? What are you doing now? How are you parent? How are you watching your daughters in terms of monitoring for any signs of anything for them? What would you tell other parents about their children? And maybe Anita, what would you go back if you could go back as that teenager, as that young person, and say something to your mom or and your family? What would you say to them to make them recognize what you were going through now? Now that you know, what are some things you could say that might have helped them now that you can think back on it?
So I don't even have to say if I was to go back because it came a point in my life where I had to say what was necessary because I did not want them same feelings to roll over on my kids. I'm my kids' number one protector. And I had to let my mom know this is how you made me feel. And with me and her being so distant, I saw it happening with my kids. But she would be around her other grandkids. So I just my dad, he used to always tell my mother, you need to talk to her. You need to talk to her. Everything that she was going through. And I had to understand that too. I had to understand that my mom has her own story. Maybe she didn't know how to be a mom. I had to understand that too. It wasn't all about me. It could be a chain reaction. It could be a family trait or something. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes through something. So I had to sit down with my mom and understand her to understand while our relationship was how it is. And in the midst of that, it kind of drew us closer because she said, I didn't know you had this type of mindset. Um, she was like, your father always told me to talk to you. She just sat back in awe. She was like, the conversation she saw me having with my niece at the time, she was like, I did not know you think like that. And so every now and then we'd get together, we'd talk, you know. Um, if I could to my younger self, maybe I should have reached out to my mom more instead of me expecting her to reach out to me and express my feelings. But everything happened the way it did for a reason, you know. And I'm okay with the distant love, but I feel even better with the understanding of the person that I am and an understanding of who she is and how she was raised. So it was just a matter of us working together to make the relationship better for me and moving forward with my kids.
And is it
And
better now?
it's better. Like I said, it's still a distance, but I like it like that. I'm Aries. I don't like to be around people too much, but I like my space. Long as I can get on the phone and we can have a conversation and I can say to my mother that I love you. Like it was one point I couldn't tell her I love her or I didn't give her a hug, but I can do that today. So long as I just have that, I'm okay with that.
How did you
And
get there? How did you get to that place of being able to give her a hug and say I love you? How hard was that to do? What did you do?
it was never hard for me. It may was hard for her, but I had to have a sit down with her. Like we had an incident in our family and I kind of mediated the situation and she was just in awe about how I mediated it. And she also recommended that I should be a counselor or something. But from that point moving forward, she would just call me if she have any type of problem or something. And I would say, don't just call me. Come on, let's go out, just me and you. Let's go sit and eat and let's talk. And I push myself more to give hugs because I'm not a big hugger, but that's my mom. You only get once, one mother. So I had to do my part as she do her part. You know what I'm saying? And with me going through all that I went through, when I did have kids, guess what? I was able to recognize signs, and I know how to productively act around my children because my feelings can roll over to my children, and they know when mommy is not in a good place. So I've really had grown up conversations with them. Like sometimes this happen, mommy go through things, but I'm not going to let it affect you. So don't worry about the grown up stuff that I have to worry about. You just focus on your school and everything, and we're going to get through it. They say my kids have old souls. Is because I don't know my time here on this earth. So I try to teach them as much as possible. If it's from budgeting in the grocery store, from learning with stranger danger, from paying attention to certain people in the family, and learning a social and emotional skills. Because depression is not a good place, and a child can go there too. Well, I have one daughter now, she get bullied all the time. Why your eyes look like cats? Why your hair that color? You think you better. And I tell her all the time, you are better. You're better than the environment that you are in right now. You are somebody. Don't never let nobody feel like you're nothing. And you can talk to me. Don't never feel like I'm not here to listen. If you don't want to talk, write it on paper, put it under my pillow. I find ways to communicate.
Raven, what are you thinking, Raven?
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Anita, for being transparent. I'm just really proud of her outcome. I mean, uh, it takes time. It's a process for recovery and reconciliation. You and your mother. Some people don't have a relationship with their mother at all, and
Hmm.
very glad that y'all are starting this process because, like you said, you only get one. You don't get to trade her in. You can get another
No.
mother figure, but that's the mama that
Hmm.
you had. That whoever you prayed to gave you, and a lot of things that you were talking about. You were right. When the student's ready, a teacher will appear. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do things in your own time. And then when you got here, you realized how important journaling is. There's some key factors, some key tools to stay in balance. Recovery is all about balance, and we talk about recovery in any area, whether it's mental health repair, coming around and trying to get stable mentally, physically, or substance abuse, stability. But the good thing about journaling is that you can gauge your own process. You won't need your counselor, you won't need the clergy, you won't need your mama, you won't need the kids, nobody to gauge your progress. You can look
Yep.
at what you wrote because whatever you write down is a legal document. It's in your
Hmm.
handwriting. That's a legal document. That's not hearsay anymore. You wrote that about yourself. So, bottom line, however you want to look at it, you can go back and say, like you said, wow, this is what I was thinking last month or last year this time. And
Hmm.
if I'm struggling, wow, look how I got through it a year ago. So, what makes me overwhelmed today, knowing how my support network and God that I pray to, look how all of this support showed up and showed out. So, what would have me in despair thinking that I can't do it again? So,
Right.
journaling is so important. Journaling, talk therapy, talk about get it out, write about it, of course, pray and cry. Tears are cleansing. Tears are cleansing. I tell my clients, I tell my consumers all the time, you cannot save your face and your butt at the same time. You can't do it. So, you got to get past those feelings and get them out some kind of way because those are all the things that consume you. Those are the things that harming yourself for in the first place. Recovery is about using is about unresolved issues, active
Yeah.
use, unresolved issues. It's something that you didn't go through properly, that you've been stuffing and thinking that it's okay or it's going to be okay, and you just don't want to do anything with it or about it. And you got some guilt, shame, and remorse because you don't even want anybody to know that you even thought it, did it, or was involved in it. Reputation, pride, all of that. Yeah. So, you just keep doing what you're doing. And then the unselfish, that's what I heard a lot of. Mothers have that agape love. It's like, I don't care what the kids
Mhm.
do. Y'all gonna love them kids till you can't love them no more. They good, bad, and indifferent. They're yours, and you're gonna protect them. But don't forget as you move through life that, whatever you do, you take them with you. Whatever decisions you make, you take the kids with you. So anytime that you're making, unhealthy decisions, whatever they may be, don't forget that, you're dragging the loved ones with you. Children, family
Mhm.
members, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, mama, daddy, grandparents, the kids, people in the neighborhood, whoever's just digging you. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
it's a selfish thing to do stuff that ain't right. And I ain't hurting nobody but myself. Oh, no, 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 no. You hurting all of us. Because we see the potential in you. We see who you can be. We see all the good in you. We see the God in you. All
Mhm.
of that. And so when you're choosing and you know better. See, some people get the slap on the wrist when they don't have a clue. But when you know better, you get the beat down. You get the
Yeah.
beat down. And because you went through all of that, and you are no longer a victim, you are a survivor of all of that today. And you should be proud. You should be proud because, I mean, if you haven't been through nothing, then you can't tell nobody about nothing. Your experiences always help
Nothing.
and inspire someone else.
Yeah.
So for that, like I said, I'm just, grateful for your story. Grateful for your yes to come on today and speak, and especially like it happened. Um, God has His own way. You know what I mean? If you got some plans, tell Him all about it, and you'll see the difference. If you want to laugh, tell God what your plans were. So we,
Right.
we just want to thank you, for coming on and sharing your story again and being transparent because you're helping to inspire someone else. Somebody has got a lot of your story going on right now, uh, and then somebody's getting ready to enter into your steps as we speak. So maybe they can have some hope. That's what this is about: hope, and trust. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, Raiden, for that. And Anita, one thing I'm curious about. You mentioned a lot of the work that you're doing now in community. And I'm curious about the stories that you're hearing out there in your community about the substance use, about mental health related issues, stories that other people have had. What's happening right now on the ground where you are, and what are the things that we need to do?
One of the things I think needs to be done, and this is government wise, I believe they need to take all these liquor stores off of each corner. You got a tobacco shop on each corner. Um, you have people that's out here working, they low income, and the moment they make a little extra money, you want to take it. And it put people in a state of mind that they feel as though they are trapped. And when they feel as though they are trapped and they may not have family or a friend like me or no one to reach out to, but they see that liquor store right there. They see that drug dealer right there, and they feel as though that it will numb that pain for a moment, but it doesn't do it for a lifetime. So I just feel as though we need better solutions in the community. We have a lot of resources here in DC, we do. But is it really helping, or is it maintaining a person's previous situation?
So if you could, Anita, what would be one thing you would, if you were elected, say you were mayor or running city council or any of that, what would be one of the first things you'd want to see change?
Like I said, I would want to see these liquor stores off these corners, put more gyms, put more places for kids to go to network together where they can learn life skills like cooking and socializing. It starts with the children. They always say, even when I was small, the children are the future. So don't just start here for grown people, 18 to 24 stuff. Start down here with kids that's 5 to 6 and in adolescence. Start early in life. Like in our culture, everybody's not a family within a household. It's a lot of single moms. It's a lot of single dads out here. So put more things in the community that can help aid us to implement family style eating. And we don't even have like a 4 or 5 star restaurant in Southeast. It's all curry out, all bad habits. Like put stuff in my community that's going to help growth physically, mentally, and to help the community understand generational wealth and things like that. Like people feel stuck, and you just telling me today, well, take this bottle or smoke these cigarettes because that's what you're putting in my face. You're not really putting in my face solutions to my problem. You're really numbing me to say, okay, I'm cool with this. Oh, the government, I don't have to pay that much rent. They're going to keep me here. But how can you grow outside of that if you keep taking every little thing a person makes?
So Anita, that you are driving my alley, driving right down my street, and things that I talk about a lot in the political world and in community, and that's why Energy Inc. exists. That is why we're doing this work. That is one of the reasons why this podcast exists, so that we can keep pushing for change in our local communities and for our families and for individuals. I'm stuck in that place where you talked about the children and the adolescents, and I want to go to the adolescents right now. Those teenagers, those preteens, teenagers, somewhere between junior high school or middle school and graduating. How can we, in your opinion, in your work on the community, how do we capture their imagination? Because they're already here. It's they're past the 4 or 5 year old where you can try to embed something and get them going down a path.
Yeah, so I get that.
What do we do now?
I see that if I can reach out to every rapper around the world and just money is the root of all evil. So you're going to put out there what makes money. But if you can really put out there, because these teenagers follow those rappers and things like that. If you could put out something positive and just let them know, like, okay, we rap about these things, but I don't know, like they follow social media, what they see on the TV. They want to be famous like this person and that person. But I would like in high schools, right? You know how in college they have sororities and stuff? I think they should have some type of brotherhood, sisterhood thing implemented in high schools already, like from 9th grade, where it gives them kind of like structure. How to properly dress and, things like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because people are in homes with single parents. Like, they need somewhere where they can go and actually voice their opinion. Somebody actually listen, implement it into their program. But at the same time, they teaching them how to survive out here in a good manner. And then how to give back to your community so that it could be like a chain reaction. I wish it was a program where they can go to, just like a Boys and Girls Club. They can go freely play basketball, whatever they want to do their homework and things. But then they go out into the community. They clean up their community. They mentor a child younger than them. It's just like everything. It's like a circle. The parents are out here struggling, making this minimum wage, trying to live day by day. And then with us trying to work so hard, it's like you're not really paying your child no attention, but you're out here working so hard for them to have a place, a roof over their head, food in their mouth. So by you not giving them that other attention that they need, when you spend some time with them and work on their mental and everything, because you have to work so hard, it's kind of taken out of the household. So by that being displaced, it's like social media, YouTube, rap, and all that is like taking place for that, but in a negative way. And I see with the young guys, they think that it's okay to pick up a gun and take somebody else's life, and not thinking about the fact that that could be you, and how would your mom feel and your family feel. Girls, they want to wear skirt, they want to everywhere. But are you thinking about that? It's a man about your name and everything, but you to respect you, but you're these tools to disrespect because you're disrespecting yourself. Because your parent may not have that time to sit with you and really train you and teach you how to properly wear your clothes and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we have to find the missing link. It's been at least 13 shootings in the last week. And it's sad. Like, a young lady today got gunned down at a library. You go to the library to do research, to learn. Why would you feel that should not be a place of fear?
So Anita, one last little question for you, because you've been dishing out some good stuff here.
Oh, sorry.
Is it all of this you just said? 13 shootings, people, if they make a little bit more, government takes a little bit more, you got to move out your place, you can't keep your place, it's not safe in community, you can't go to the library and be safe, drugs on the street, alcohol, illegal alcohol, drugs on the corner, tobacco on the corner.
Back into the corner. I was there last week. I feel backed into the corner. I cried. I had to shut the door. Didn't want the kids to see me. But guess what? I said, all these good deeds, a blessing gonna come my way. I said, devil, you is not gonna step on my shine.
So with all of that, is it hopeless?
It's always hope. Hopeless? No. You have to believe. Absolutely. Like, you have to believe. Like, the more that pressure is put on you, I feel as though the pressure is only put on you when you are at your very best. When God is about to bless you with something so.
Absolutely.
So Anita is giving us some good wisdom here. Y'all listen in.
Yeah, so you have to just know that, yeah. It's
Anita, if you could
no good deed is gonna come out. It's gonna be easy. You got to go through the storm, and when the storm is over, the rainbow is so bright. I'm telling you, like, oh my goodness, it's like you just wake up high and happy off of love, like, you know, like. But you got to go through the storm. Nothing come easy. Nothing good come easy. I swear.
No
Nothing
testimony
good.
So Anita, you just mentioned. Were you saying something, Raven? I think you're delayed a second.
No, I said no testimony without a test.
Yeah. So Anita, you just mentioned the 13-year-old that I'm sorry, the young woman that was gunned down. I don't know how old she was, but that was somebody's daughter. Could have been somebody's mother. It might have been somebody's sister, grandchild, niece, cousin, what have you, right?
Everything.
What would you say if you could look right now in the camera directly and talk to people directly in our communities and tell them what you want them to know about what we need to do together to make change for ourselves? We can't wait on government to come and do it. If we could wait on government, they would have done it if they wanted to do it. They obviously are not prepared to do it. We got a bunch of nonprofits out here. We're doing the best we can, but it's going to be up to us individually. What would you say to that mother, to that family, and to the perpetrator, the ones that gunned this person down? What would you say to them about what's needed right now for us as a community?
First of all, I'm so sorry that you had to experience a loss of a family member. I pray for the soul of the person that did take a life because they are as well going through something mental. I believe if we all stand together as a unit and reach out to these kids and be available for them and love on them. They just need love, it's missing. And let's just get together and take back our community and our kids. Stop all this social media. Let's get out there. Let's take trips. Let's get out there, do double Dutch hopscotch and all that stuff that we used to do. The
That's right.
media cannot raise our children. Um, Television is a tail live vision. You understand? It is there to interrupt our purpose. The guy that invented televisions, I can't even tell you his name, but he didn't even have a television in his own home because he knew how poisonous this internet and everything would be. But let's just get together and fight for our children, for our communities. The government may be there, but the government listen to the people. We the people. So let's just make it happen. And once again, I'm so sorry. I lost two twins. That was the hardest thing for me to do, and to have many years with your child and to lose their life. I know that it's very hard, but just know we all have an expiration date. We don't know the time of day or how it's going to happen, but God does nothing that's not supposed to already be done. And you still have a purpose out here and still live. Don't give up. I love you, and I just hope we can all pull together and make it happen.
Well, thank you, Anita. And you can see Anita, myself, Raven, and others. You can see us live in person on August 27th at our Community Day and Valley Green Day, which will be held at Oxen Run Park from 2 to 6 p.m. But you can come out earlier in the day, grab a spot in the park, bring your grill, or bring your cooler, your chest, and come out with your family and friends and enjoy a wonderful, wonderful time in community. Everyone is welcome. We are going to have some great organizations there, great opportunities. We're going to give fresh food away. Cooked meals are going to be given away free. Place for kids to play. Game trucks. There are going to be entertainment. We are talking right now. If you don't know Maurice Griffin, gospel rising star, we are inviting him to come. We've got other local talent artists, dancers, the Buddhist choir with local workers choir. We have church choirs coming. And also community groups with some fabulous singer, R&B, hip hop coming. The Let It Flow band will be with us. So we've got some
volunteer too.
And we need you to volunteer. You're welcome to come and volunteer. If you want to know, go to Place of Worship Advisory Board, go to DC Health and the Place of Worship Advisory Board. You can click the links there. You can volunteer with us. Join us on August 27th for our wonderful community day. We are looking forward to seeing you there. Great way to connect. Great way to hit the reset button on us coming together as a community and making change for ourselves and our lives. We are Energy Inc., and we are so glad that you've been with us. Thank you, Anita, for sharing this part of your story. We need to have you back for some more stories. But Raven, my wonderful co-host, thank you so much for being here. If you need us, we are here. And we also want to invite you that if you need some help right now, don't hesitate to call 1-888-7-WE-HELP. That is the DC DBH helpline. They will help you with mental health concerns. They will help you get connected to substance use treatment. And if it's you or someone that you know, we will be there for you. They are there for you. You can reach out to us at Energy Incorporated, INNERGY Incorporated @gmail.com. And we will be here for you to get you pointed in the right direction. If you need help with mental health or substance use, get a primary care doctor, get a dentist. If you need to get access to resources in the community, we've had people reaching out to us even recently who were without food. I had one person reaching out last weekend who had no food and was contemplating suicide. And we were able to get that person some food and get some help and get them connected to some other resources. And they were able to get reconnected to their mental health provider. And so there are real needs out there. So we're talking to real people with real stories about real solutions. And that's what we're here for. So we hope you'll join us again next week, 6:30 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. And we will be back. And we believe our other co-host, Tawana Lee, will be back with us. I'll be here with Raven. We'll have some new guests with us. So come out and see us again. And if you need us, we are definitely here helping you to thrive and live. This is our Thrive Live program, and we want you to not just survive, but we want you to thrive.
All right. Bye.
Have a great day.